All right, everybody, let's get started for a Monday. How's it going? Big shout out to the chat. Welcome to Harmonic Pattern Podcast number 151. Today's November 7th, and we're here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 12 noon, to do our harmonic pattern thing. So, really quick, get the business out of the way. HarmonicTrader.com, that's where you want to go for all harmonic pattern resources, software. Become a basic member right there. Go to that page and access the free trial. So really quick, a lot of people asking about the Black Friday special and what we're going to do. We're definitely going to do something. I'll probably have a larger announcement by Thursday. And we're likely going to do a one-day event. We'll probably do another Saturday session, like a 2-3 hour thing. So I want to put that out there. We'll work out details to follow. Let's just say that. But everybody that has bought the program or people that purchase it between now and Black Friday, the whole deal, you guys can show up for that session, and then the seminar will be open to gold and silver members, of course. But I think the more detailed sessions, kind of intensive strategy sessions are needed. I think there's areas definitely to focus on. What we do here is look at current market events, structures, harmonic patterns, major formations across the board, and then make our harmonic pattern assessments based on where we are in the framework. All of that begins here on the basic members page on HarmonicTrader.com. The books, everything available for free. Just put in your email. And then go to the Discord, please. If you have questions about anything, you go there. Just go in, log in, and either ask Miss Stephanie or one of the moderators. That makes the whole experience possible for me to facilitate it to so many people without needing to, really have this be a drag on my time. Because what I want to do 95% of the time are markets and trading and figuring it out. So let's get to it really quick. I want to jump before we go into crypto. I think the major markets, because of the obvious larger macro event of U.S. elections tomorrow, is that going to be a big deal? And what should we be thinking between now and the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, obviously, end of the year, and it's over, 2022. I think we're ready to get on with it. But longer term, looking at NASDAQ right here, this chart of the weekly, sitting right now just below the June lows, but we have this, about the only thing we have is a harmonic strength index signal. And again, this puts a line here, a temporary line, at around 10.7. But the daily chart, again, we know the levels are actually much higher. The daily levels are, it's really only this prior crab pattern for 2022. The crab really started a year ago, but for most of the formation of that crab took most of this year, 2022, to complete and then go sideways for a while. Nothing really too constructive on the daily chart. If we even go to, say, HSI on the daily, we're headed back down. And that's, we would need some kind of inflection, get an oversold register, and come out of the zone. So it's not there yet. I think we're going to go across a few charts where you're going to see the same situation. As beautiful as a lot of the patterns are, and there's some fantastic opportunities, we have to be patient with it. Market has to flash probably another week or two of action before anything. Again, the big name stocks, and this has been a recurring theme for us. Microsoft, sitting in the massive type 2 deep crab zone at 221 is the low end. So maybe that's, you're 223 right now. Type 1 is like that. Your reaction phase was like that. Now for the rest of the year, come back down. Maybe it takes more time. The problem that we noted recently was that actually Harmonic Strength Index registered a crazy oversold signal that drove it back down to the hop at 221. And your weekly time frame, again, it's make or break, because we know that there's really not much underneath these lows. Currently where we are, 220. It's either 220 or then it's another 886 off the COVID back to 157. Hey, Captain Price, what's going on? Yes, Tesla. Yep, we'll have to look at Tesla. Tesla's another one. Tesla's another one. I'll get to it in a minute, where it's, if we were to have a write a book, and don't ever write a book. Well, maybe you can write one book, but don't write more than one book. But if we did a book on harmonic patterns, and the Tesla chart that we're looking at currently would be textbook, but the type 2 is the problem. Microsoft right there as well. And look, there's an opportunity in Microsoft, but it might not be till that 886. On the daily chart, I would love to see that bottom stabilize. Again, go to your HSI and look, we've let a lot of steam out on this last little decline on Microsoft, but hasn't registered yet. The other one or two, Amazon. And I'm going to play something. Do I have that? 1 second. Let me see if I've got that. I'm going to queue up something that I said in the monthly report. And then we'll take a look at, how that played out. But Amazon did the type 2 return. Amazon's and failed miserably. I mean, this was the gap down into earnings straight on through. That is that's a textbook right out of my book failure in terms of price action, where you gap through the zone. And you're all the way at the hop level, harmonic optimal price, still yet to really even give us one single bullish candle. And that's where it's just another example of how severe it is. And you haven't even registered a bullish reading on HSI. Amazingly, RSI on your daily is deeply oversold. And not only that, it's going to give you a W formation. That'll be a complex formation. And likely it'll be a complex formation like this as well. Standard RSI will look like that. HSI needs to come out. That would be the sign. But where does it come out? Does it hold 95 for real? I don't, I'm not going to sit there until, I'm not going to do anything until it does register. And then even then, you'd want a check back and a couple more bars. It's a beautiful spot. I mean, this is a beautiful pattern location to be in. Okay, reaction clear. Firm, just the total rejection at target 1. But here we are without confirmation, probably one of the best examples of why you wait for confirmation, or even a simple bullish candle that agrees with the bullish pattern. Couple of more, because these are, they're so there, so devastating. It really is remarkable. Oh yeah, Daniel is saying nat gas on fire. Look, natural gas, we're going to get to that. That's exactly one of the things that is another example of why we can wait two bullish bars. 2 bars that agree with the setup. Let's go. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody that's in here, I would appreciate it hitting the like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Again, get notifications, any updates that I do. Also, I said I think some things are going to be, I'll be doing some changes here in the few weeks into the end of the year. I want to change a few things by January, but everyone, again, hit the like if you like what's going on. and give it a shout out into the chat. If you guys have an idea you want something to look at, I'll go through a couple of things as well. People take some requests today. We will get into crypto in about 5 minutes because there's a lot of things in crypto that are still a good opportunity, but just doing this kind of delayed reaction, which is really what I want to talk about today with the major markets. Because here we are in a 2 of 2 with Amazon, Microsoft, all of these monster patterns not triggering. So at a minimum, we can wait. We can wait for confirmation. Don't have to jump. The other one that I don't know if I've mentioned this, but Google, same deal. Another big pattern, deep crab sitting right on the hop level. And then check this out. It has a bearish HSI in a bullish zone. That's just a kind of a cautionary flag. I would think this hop level here, we would do a type 1 reaction if that was the other way. If that was going the other way, but your HSI is bearish, trying to pop out of that zone and start going down. So it just, again, not in the right spot. That's the kind of thing where I'll certainly keep a close eye on that. There's no reason why. I really think that with that kind of a structure and that kind of a pattern, we typically see a little bump back to the zone. But lately, with what's been going on, been some really severe washout behavior, non-confirmation, no confirmation. Really simple stuff. Okay, with a basic concept with harmonic patterns, folks. Hold on one second. What's going on here? Okay, I got that. That's good. All right. Without confirmation pointing in the right way, all right, let it go. Move on, or at least wait for some other ones. Let me jump quickly to this S&P chart on the daily because I've been saying S&P a lot better spot, a lot better development than, say, NASDAQ. But yeah, that's a lot of patterns. But look what's going on here. Let me isolate. This is a type 2 crab pattern. I'm going to take away the bearish and the ABCD. There's the deep crab. Just walk through. There's confirmation and then the final check back. Now remember, something we've really been pointing out is saying let that all happen, especially when you come back down for the full retest. Okay, let that happen. Let that check back happen because this is going to take time. And then it checks back, and then 1 and 2. 2 bullish candles that agree with the confirmation, agree with the pattern, and then be looking for the development. Is this going to follow through? I think you can say that all stops there. 3,700. You fail that, forget it. And I don't even think you retest this. I mean, you can start moving stops again on the equity markets for this rally that started 2 weeks ago and probably tomorrow. If you can't rally off of tomorrow, just fundamentally, forget it. Little concerned with this already because you have everything you want to see, and it is a delayed this week with everything here. The check back, the retest, the perfect rejection of the hop level at 35.46. Again, all of our harmonic pattern framework. Anybody that's been following along for weeks or months know that this is basically dictating the whole S&P. But now, if this is going to be a true type 2 reversal, okay, you ride the trend line. You don't roll over. You don't do a 3-bar reversal. That's why today, tomorrow, you need to break out. You need to hold that low 3,700 immediately, instantaneously is stop for the whole thing, and you still want to see some kind of trend line progression. If it's like that and this is the first wave, so be it. If not, then the breakdown, again, I think we all know the larger breakdown deal. Absolutely not. No more time. No more time for this. No more room. And again, there's a big reward here at target 2 at 42.78. If that could, if, I big if. We've seen how disappointing this market can be. But it's there. 2 of 2. Secondary price bar confirmation. Everything you want to see. Hold on one second. Let me bring this back over. All right, that's good. S&P, I think above the 3,800 could get it going. It's not, you tried this morning, didn't get up there. Real fragmented market. I want to look at crude oil and energy now. Start with XLE. And this is another one where looks like it's going to go to the moon. I mean, this looks like it wants to do a 1618 explosion. Let me go to the weekly. Okay, nothing yet on HSI or RSI. Amplified just hitting the overbought. That's early. And I want to show quickly, go over to energy on the TradingView platform. Go to the XLE. And this is projecting, I think some interesting stuff. Going to 4 hour. You have a couple of things at the 886 of the prior high from this summer. But we just registered this 4 hour HSI in a bullish direction, which is, if you're looking for that to turn around just yet, nope. Pretty impressive. The only thing that we've been looking at, I've been looking at ExxonMobil around 108 at the retest. This is now going to 114. This clearly has the hop level. There you go. You have HSI up here. Oh, it's on a weekly. Daily? Yeah, weekly. There it is. So here's a big deep crab, but this thing is super strong. Easily goes to 114.69. Where's HSI on the weekly chart? Just hitting now. So that could be easily a week or two before it even decides to do a bearish candle. But you are up there, 2 of 2. I think we were looking at this way early, around 107, because of the shark. So there's a couple of patterns. There it is. Yeah. Daily had a deep crab on 107.50. The shark was 108.80, but we're 114. And it's up there. You have HSI checking back on the daily as well. So watch what this does. This could do a quick reversal, but you're still, I would think, 2 or 3 days. You need 2 or 3 down days. And with natural gas doing what it did, and we'll get to that in a second, things look like they're going to be heating up again. This could be a breakout point. I'm watching what happens. If this, give it a day, give it 2 days, give it by Friday. If we find ourselves closing, at the highs, or something like ExxonMobil, just blast on through. Yeah, that's where then this could be some kind of overspill move. It's early. That's still, since this last HSI on Exxon, and Chevron's the same deal. What was that? That was back in June. Was that low? Amazing move. Chevron, same deal here, where just do it like this. I think Chevron's a monthly. Yeah, Chevron's a monthly. Take a look. Still a type 1 crab. But where we are suggests this thing's going to still go up into the zone. And we had a check back off the first reaction, but right on back down. I mean, reaction and straight back retest. Pretty strong. I mean, this is where you're kind of in the zone until you get another a monthly bearish candle. Again, right back in that zone was to be up this high. Let's take a look. Here's the check back point. And this kind of makes sense where this could really overshoot into the end of the year. That's the thought on energy. I think it could do an overshoot, unsustainable move, by the way, but certainly an overshoot move. And what's the other one? The other one was, well, the refiners, of course. You look at these. Here's Valero. Just amazing. Making a run back at all-time new highs. And they should, because you have some HSI signals. Here's the daily. Take a look. Easily come back. Like something like Valero, ConocoPhillips, all of these, they're going to want to go back. Oh, yeah, that's flashing a butterfly. I'm thinking like this. Nice Gartley action. You're at the 786 right now. Maybe as high as the 886. But again, we need to see a 3-bar reversal. If you think this is going to fail, it'll take a few bars. It'll take a week or two of consolidation before it rolls over. Couple more. I feel like we're going to get a big reaction in sentiment no matter what after tomorrow. I think once people realize what's happening, they feel like they know that what the prevailing kind of policy that's been going on, that's been really hurting energy, or at least holding prices up. There's some big change around the corner. Do markets react off of that? We'll see. I mean, that's a beautiful Gartley pattern on Valero on the daily. Potential. Right before the midterm. So, and you go, again, monthly Chevron flashing a type 2. This is a situation where we're clearly on our own. Okay, and most people are looking to buy this breakout. And I think it could go a little bit higher in the short term, but we are trying to finish up some kind of major reaction off of that crab, and it's a multi-year 1618 extension. CL is alerting as well. Yeah, I could get to that. Hey, it's great. I mean, look, it's been an amazing move, and most of some of the ones we called 2 years ago have been monsters, monster moves. The things that we called this energy move, a couple of years ago, and it's been probably one of the biggest things for me in the last few years. Here's this Marathon Oil, and look at this. Now we are all the way up there. We've reached the 2 of 2. That's amazing. We can celebrate, actually, because we really nailed this down here at the type 2 retest, and now we are at above target 2, 2840, with an HSI checkback. Okay, but beautiful monthly chart. Look at that. 1, 2. Deep crab. Target 1. Reaction. Come back down, retest. To the hop. And now 33.26 with the check back. But I would still say, hey, you can start taking profits here. By definition, you would look to take profits here, or you would actually 28.40, $30. Why not? But if we're going to get a major shift based off of the framework, you're probably 2 months away from that. Dave, hey, what's happening, Dave? What am I thinking about after the midterms? Do I stick to the charts and ignore the noise? Yeah, I have to. I have to. That's kind of what I'm saying with this crude oil thing. That you're the patterns and the framework. Again, think about if this was you're going to put this in a book, and you want to talk about this in the history. Even though forget everything else, news headlines, whatever. Where are you in the framework? There's Occidental Petroleum. Look at that monthly bat pattern. Amazing. $9, now 75. Buffett's buying this thing at an HSI checkback. And you're one monthly candle away. Now that looks pretty strong, I gotta say. But if we were gonna look for this signal to be valid, to give you some kind of pullback, well, there's one red candle. I would need to see one more red candle. And above 73.32, yeah, that's maybe you're getting a little, just having a little premium above 73, 74. It's all there. Here's something to think about. Okay, that's just like this. And we've talked about this one, and look at how this thing is shaping up. Here's Mosaic, supposed to be a fertilizer crisis. These type of companies supposed to be, have experience insane demand coming. Great sector to be in, but we had a pattern. We had a pattern back in June that led to a type 1 reaction. That was it. And we talked about why we were getting out of this and looking for the full return phase, terminal bar 45.15 minimum. Still waiting, but you're here. You're at one of those points where if you stick to the framework, or even if you wanted to wait an extra couple of days, you got the clear individual reversal at the levels. That's what we're looking for on those major energy stocks. If they're going to explode, guess what? It's going to be a monster move. If not, if you get a bar or two, start to roll over and you're long, all right. Especially something like ExxonMobil. But I all of it's early, and it's plenty of time before that kind of assessment. Yeah, where's the other one? Here's UK oil. Really quick, just wanted to I forgot to show this. Is this going to? You got this Gartley on the daily. It's been going sideways because you ran into an HSI signal. Again, let's filter the noise out. What does the Gartley mean? Think of it this way. What's the Gartley mean for crude oil or energy or whatever? That this whole 6 months ended up being a big consolidation phase, a big A, B, C, D consolidation phase of the late year rally. That's all that is. And what it should mean is that it's a starting point for the next cycle, the next frequency move higher, if that's what it's going to lead to. Still needs to go through the 1-2, and I would suspect, again, if you get to 104 and then come back down, your secondary point, retest point, be a lot better. We'll see. But even with a pattern like that on crude oil, taking its time in a reactionary zone that should be moving more quickly. Nat gas, 6 on the low end, 9 on the top end. 6 support, 9 resistance. So tell me about this move. We've been on this for a while. It had the shark. And we're going to look for that up to 740. Target 1. Nice move here. Look, you missed that. If you've been following along, nat gas has been pretty much eyes up when we're at 6. Quick alert above 9. This time, shark pattern right off the top. The fact that we are coming back. Listen, beautiful pattern. Beautiful bearish pattern that defined the $9 level on this is nat gas futures. Okay, reaction, reaction, reversal. Really reversal because it was a type 2 and you hit target 2 and you had like a tertiary move. Folks, this is what's going to take shape. I think this could, if we were going to take a shot on nat gas, this would be the place to do it. Hey, Richmond, do you hear me? Is Richmond in the chat today? Richmond Flowers Jr. and his father too, but you know, big shout out. But if you're here, Richmond, remember you were asking me that? I want to see what happens here. Can we get a type 2 off the shark? Can we get something like this? And let's tune it all out. Tune everything out that we know, the stories, whatever. Wouldn't that be the ideal spot for a launch and a target 2 launch for 942? Plenty of time, folks. And nat gas bumps around like this. Now, remember Boyle? Who caught Boyle? Anybody catch Boyle in here? Because we talked about it. And then it gave us the 2-day thing. Here's Boyle. That's that super aggressive ultra Bloomberg nat gas ETF. Type 2. Oh, let me fix the data here. I know what's going on. Because we had confirmation, everything. Now $50. Let me fix that. There you go. I'm going to get HSI back on here. So this bat pattern for Boyle at 50 now. Your 886 was at 48. Technically, you're still consolidating in the zone. Target 175. 75.41. That's fair. I think that's definitely fair. So you're new to that one. Again, I not as crazy about that because of the volatility, and I think that could be a tricky play for most people. As if you don't stick to the levels exactly, like if you're not, we talked about this down at 40 and change. And again, sorry about this, the HSI data. I'm trying to fix this HSI data. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can get this to fix. We did have a trigger. Now UNG is the other one, and I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why that I'm not getting you at the HSI trigger. But let's go to UNG. UNG was around 18 and 30 on as the target, to where we go back to the prior highs. Again, this is something where it could take off and just be ping-ponging between these levels. UNG, yeah, is a better one. There you go, because of target 2 already achieved on, there you go, first reaction, come back a little bit sloppy above the hop, but again, we talked about this. Go to August when we talked about this, and then go to even just 2 weeks ago, down here at 1798. That was it. So this whole thing is over for UNG. It's just a matter of, do you come back, check back to 21, 20? Do you jump right in right now? Either way, you're going to target 28 to 30. It just started. Literally just started. And weekly time frame, take a look at this. Here you go. Deep crab pattern on that first test, folks. This is where it can be really fun. And it's going to be, look, with all the devastation in the NASDAQ, we see what markets, there's a lot of markets that are new lows for the year already, that are the big name stocks. And then there's other markets where you've got plenty of opportunity. And this is another one. So, and what we do here, not only to kind of teach the basics, foundation, but focus on what things truly make it an opportunity, really highlight the most optimal points. This is one of them. This is why UNG, I feel like maybe this is just early action getting started. That 18 bucks on UNG is the end of the type 1 reaction. There you go. Off this weekly. 32.78, come all the way down to 18.26. Nothing yet. I mean, HSI didn't register, but it's about to come out. I got to check out the rest of the data. But it's valid. And you have an amplified RSI reading. That has given us an inflection that was confirmed on Friday, and now bang. 1618, minimum check back 32.78. We'll be talking a lot about this between now and the end of the year. I feel like this whole thing could do a round trip within the next 30 days, especially if we'll trigger today. Look, HSI will pop out, will register on today's close, no matter what. That's big for nat gas. And here's the larger thing for nat gas that just to remind everyone, and again, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what the market is, what it's doing, up, down, what market it is. We need to identify the most liquid markets with the best opportunities, trading activity, and nat gas is definitely one of them where, look, I'm going to stick with an eventual end of the bull market run on nat gas, somewhere between this 1488 and maybe as high as that hop level 1833. I've been talking about this probably 2 years now. This was never retested. It serves as a big one. I think on the monthly. Monthly, it's probably even clearer. Yep, there you go. Monthly chart. A lot of the currencies have showed us things like the euro and British pound, even Japanese yen, how these long-term cycles, you can't escape them. And a lot of those markets are beginning to reach multi-decade extremes. And this seems like the price action wants to spread out to other markets to start breaking into price discovery that it hasn't seen in decades. Nat gas, this last test at $6, maybe it was one of the last ones. And I'll frame it out like this. There's 6. Okay, here's 9. And there's your trend. So I think it's just a matter of time. Now after nat gas doing what it's done last 6 months, 8 months, let's look for this consolidation to end. Get a real move on across the board. You wanted to load up on calls? Get ready. You know, this is something where even you can go back. You see nat gas loves to do winter runs, run till March, do a run in through February, historically, because that's when you've got the greatest demand. So enough on that gas. I think it's pretty clear what this is the start. If you're not in on it yet, you probably get another opportunity. Pull up an hourly chart. Pull up, oh, here you go. Nat gas futures. Okay. You're not in on nat gas yet. Here on the hourly chart, we've got a beautiful deep crab. It's up. It's up 10% today. 11%. Right into a deep crab zone. All right, overextended. Let's see what the next 24 hours can give us, 48 hours, but come back to target 1. Look for that retracement, 650, and then let the next leg start. Because we're in that daily zone. We're in that spot on the daily. If it's UNG, if it's Boyle, okay, where the continuation up to initial targets happens now. It doesn't happen later. Look, here's Boyle. And Boyle's, at this point, probably a good speculative one. Oh, there you guys go. You just bumped it up 50 cents. But you're at a point now with the breakout. You should see this begin to climb day over day. Boyle, again, UNG is probably the better vehicle. Couple more. I'm going to jump over. Yes. Yep. Still type 1 reaction. You're right. It is still just a type 1 reaction. And we know how Boyle can get. Like I said, Boyle could bump to 75 and back to 50 before it does come some major explosive move. But this is where looking at other areas for opportunities, it's got to happen. We have to start looking at here, you know, outside of just the standard, just looking, waiting for Microsoft or Amazon to turn around. One or two more. Hey, Victoria. Do I think Exxon, Natgas, Bitcoin charts are working together since Exxon is mining crypto? No, I don't. I think we have to put ourselves in the best levels with the best confirmation. I'm going to jump to crypto in a second. But again, what is happening is just this delayed reaction across the board, unless you're in a few select categories. You know, if you're in Pepsi or you're in pharmaceutical or something, a lot of that's almost near the end anyway. They're into their cycles. So especially in this environment, I want to think of everything independently. I don't want to correlate unless it's interest rates. But even that can be deceptive. And let me just really brush that. Okay, because the rate scenario did register last week where we had HSI. Just again, don't want to correlate, but I want to look at the signals that and be as close to the signals as possible that have generated as soon as they generate. I mean, there's the 2-year yield, the arrow, that's HSI. That means it's overbought, but it has not finished going through the whole process. So signal wise, it's still up. Does that correlate directly to the market? Well, you know, market's not really doing much today. Haven't seen a lot of follow through, but you're watching closely on an individual basis. Let's jump to crypto because it's it's a good segue to look individually at crypto as we started last week. And remember, we said the top 5, and we were saying Doge because hey, if we're going to speculate, what's Doge going to do? Doge isn't doing much. Doesn't look good on that weekly chart. Look at the daily since HSI last week, still down. I know on say 4-hour time frame, we talked about this. Where'd you go? Where'd that go? It's a 1-2 bat. Where's the bat pattern? Well, we talked about the crab, but there's a bat pattern that just did the reaction. Now, there you go, the bat. And so you're there for the retest. Independent of everything else for something like Doge, okay, give me confirmation. This is where I'm saying, aside from everything else, if I was looking for Doge as an opportunity, it's somewhere here. Where's HSI? Nowhere. Not there yet. Not there yet. So individually on crypto for Doge, for any follow through, nope, not going to happen. Not yet. What's the number 2 coin we were talking about? Binance coin. And Binance coin on the daily chart had a couple of different patterns that look at that rejection, folks. So we're going to climb more. Right there, reaction off of that 350 level. Okay, a little bit over. Yes, it was ideal type 1 reaction off of the bat pattern. Again, this has been the one to watch. Bat, target one, come back. All right, it's type 2 of the bat, and then it gave you a shark in between. So maybe you get back to 297 on this reaction. Doesn't mean end of the world, but hey, it means more work. And then come back and do something like that on an independent level. That's a little bit different, say, than say Doge. I mean, go to the 4-hour time frame. Has nothing really set up hourly. Anything set up here? No. And Binance would be the strongest of them all. If the crypto is going to be strong, you'd want to see Binance lead, but not really. Not happening. Doge, Binance Coin. Oh, sorry. Number 2 was Ethereum, folks. I did miss Tesla. I'll circle back, James, on Tesla. Remind me before I get out of here. I'll take a couple towards the end as well. I'll take a couple of questions. Ethereum, that's number 2 on our list. And we're still in the type 1 phase of this Gartley. Okay. Looking for this thing to roll over and do the type 2 reaction. Type 2 return. There's the first test. Up to target 1, target 2 with HSI right there. Right there. So now Ethereum is, interestingly enough, it is stalling where we would want to see it stall for this to be a reaction. You can draw the trend line because that's the last thing you even want to concern yourself with at this point. And you could bump stops, 1490. Going forward, under 1490 should see that give you the full reaction. Back down, the return phase. Technically, you are in type 2 return because HSI registered. It checked back, and you have your second bearish candle. It's just taking a few extra days. But that's what we will look for. That was number 2. Binance number 3. Doge looks like lower. Ethereum waiting for a rollover. Binance Coin, lower tests, lower targets. Bitcoin, back down. Now, Bitcoin, we have the shark. We have patterns. Again, another delayed situation where we're not surprised to see this thing thrust up and roll back down. Thrust up, roll back down. As it just grinds, it could, be delayed until the end of the year. I do think it's still progress no matter what. This is as long as you hold your uptrend off the most recent low from October, and you can raise your stops. Bitcoin is out of the zone, out of the shark zone. So whereas we were talking about 18,000 before, we should not see this thing come back under 19.5. Should not come back into the zone. This is the highest it's been since the September rush. Even can you even do a little 886? And that's probably the only range you want to consider. Something like that. 22.1, 22.2, and still be. That's what it should do on this move, okay? But still be sideways for a while, or no HSI. HSI is not even close to do anything. So maybe the grind up continues for Bitcoin. I think it's more impressive of what it's done at 20,000, 19,000 to hold these lows for as long as it has. And the future will really determine what this means. You get above 24.4, okay, that's where larger things can really take shape. Not there yet. Other one is Cosmos, and been impressive of all the ones that we've seen. Steady, and not getting crushed too badly when it does pull back. But here's the last 6 months. Okay. Making progress. There's a weekly pattern here, but the dailies, we've been talking about the bat pattern. Reaction almost over. And your one candle. So again, for those that have been working with harmonic pattern collection for a while, please take notice. This is really a simple technique. I think it's great for swing trading. I've got some ideas that I'm going to roll out, maybe in that seminar next month. Ways to use options if that was a stock, because it cuts down on the time. The time drawdown. That especially premium if you're early in a position, which is probably one of my number one things. I'm usually early, and for Cosmos, all right, there's a reaction would be over at that point around 1437, but look, you still don't even have two candles. There's the check back point right there. Let me trace it out. Been talking about the bat pattern. You had confirmation around 11. Around 11 with support. 15 has been the target. You hit between target 1, target 2. There's the arrow that comes up. Plenty of time to react. And even if you wanted to wait, show me 2 bearish candles. And as long as that doesn't break the uptrend, you're still fine. Kind of a delayed tactic, a way to wait, because what happens if you're not going to trigger, that trend will continue. If you're not going to get, you might get 1 bearish candle, but if you don't get 2, possibility of that continuing is likely. For now, where I would look for the major opportunity is come back one more time to 11 on Cosmos. That's where then I think with the pattern, the type of pattern that is, could be a launch point. Could be a launch point. Crypto is, taking its time, but you're seeing things pop off that are just a matter of you having to be patient in those positions. Here's one. I know we've mentioned algo before, and look what's popping now. Look at this. Algo was this, go all the way back here, strange, the crab pattern, a bat pattern there, all-time 886. Let me get a better history. Something like that. There you go. Around 20 bucks. That's talk about perspective. And I know this was one of the ones we mentioned that was registering HSIs down here around 30 cents. Just a delayed situation. That one's definitely starting to get out of this hole. Where is that? Let's go back to this one. There you go. Taking its time, but that's, again, what we're seeing with crypto. I want to highlight this is a new one. Want to look at Anchor and come back here. Why? Because this is starting to build. I've been talking about that for a while, and I drew this out a long time ago. What's going on in Anchor? Fairly ideal. It's a little tricky to see it, but that was our type 1 reaction that we nailed way back in June, and it was a double. And we looked for this to come back. It just took a lot. Took several weeks longer than we thought, but there it is. No check back, but you have the early developments where I don't want to take my eye off of it. Okay? And if this is going to be the type 2, we go target 2 on that. That's anticipated move. Longer term. For now, off of this smaller bat, we go from this 290 area to 402 as a target 1. That's one new one. Algo popping off is like a few of the ones we've seen. A basic attention token is Brave. taking its time. Some right around the 30 cent level. Couple more. I know you guys wanted to look at Matic. Look at Matic. Look what Matic's done. First look at the weekly. Daily. Where can Matic go? Up to target 160 easily. Breaking out now, but let's look at the last couple of patterns. How did they get there? On the daily chart. Incredible. That was just last week? Matic had a bat at 101, went down to 90. Now we're 126 running. This thing will run until you register an HSI. Where's HSI on the daily here? Not even close. Also, look at the deep crab off the low. Okay, type 1, bang, comes up, type 2, can't get down to target 2. Can't get down that low. Why? Because look, bat pattern. This is encouraging. I really want to state this, that to see some of these start to hold, start to pop off like this. They're all going through the type 1, type 2, no matter what. A lot just that kind of consolidation to kind of shake out the last of the sellers and overcome the sellers for buyers to get back into control here. Buyers start to run this again. And sure, Matic with the prior patterns at 250, all of that's possible. Don't be surprised though. You come up to target 1 and then come back down over the next several months, but at least it's running. It's in a better spot than it was a couple weeks ago. And take that, go back and look at other ones that are exploding. Yep. Here's Chili's. Yeah, someone just said that. That's one's big time explosion. I've been out of that, and that probably looks like it wants to go well above 30. I haven't done anything on that, gotten back in. But there's other ones that I am in that are, I feel like similar spot. Crypto.com. Look at these big pattern into patterns. Didn't explode yet, but let it do its 1-2. The deep crab pattern, we know. Big patterns here that formed. Going sideways for a while. Then they triggered back in June. And in the consolidation in the last several months, okay, they're doing smaller patterns that are acting as a trigger. That's now where we are. Can this get at crypto.com? Go to target 2 just off the small pattern. Or here's something like Sandbox. Big pattern, small pattern. All right, tried to make an initial run. Got rejected. Ran into an HSI. Let it come back down, but 2 of 2 there. Again, that's impressive action. What was the other one? Decentraland? Mana? There's Mana. Yeah, I think that was another shark. Big bat pattern followed by a shark. Absolutely. Back-to-back patterns. They just haven't popped off yet. And could depending on what part of the whole crypto sphere it's located, if it's metaverse, maybe metaverse takes more time. Maybe it does a 1-2 like this before it really gets going. And I mean longer term, like the way some of these other ones are starting to go. But you're close, to getting a lot of the worst behind you, I think. What's the other one? Oh, synthetics. We've been talking about synthetics. And this is really starting to progress. Again, a beautiful type 2 of the butterfly, delayed reaction, but again, since we broke out of the downtrend, bring that like here, right around $2, 220, starting to pop off. And I would say that's a type 2 where, look, if it's target 2, all the way back at 586, sounds crazy, but that's a double. But target 2 has been, really put a floor there, and this is another back-to-back. Deep crab, small butterfly. So I think these kind of multiple patterns at least put you in the area where you can get some kind of something to pop off and catch a double move. We saw that last week in band. There you go. Here's band. Did that crazy kind of move. If that thing pops off, your crypto doubles or more, you need to be thinking about, I don't know if you're a long-term holder or what, but if you capture a double or something more like that in a short period of time, you got to ask yourself, do I want to give it back? You'll get another opportunity in band. And there's a bunch of patterns down here. Small, deep crab, all these little confirmations around a buck. It just took time. For the larger move, there's going to be, I think, several of these kind of thrust situations. Look in the history of band here on the daily. There's the bear market. Okay, so hasn't been too long since we've been to the right of that downtrend. Even tighten it up a little bit like that. So this whole new cycle trying to start, it's going to take a couple attempts before it really gets going. Bitcoin Cash. Look, another very sloppy pattern. A deep crab that structurally at 144, but confirmation didn't come in until about 109, 110. You're 117. All right, and then that's on a daily chart. What about a 4-hour? All right, there's a 4-hour chart. Couple of nice areas to be looking at, and again, we're at that point. Enough time has transpired for most of these setups. Can we get some kind of 4-hour pattern that will spring it loose like we've seen a few of these others? Here on Bitcoin Cash, keep an eye for this. You've got some back-to-back patterns working. I say in your favor, or 120 resistance. Can you come back down to 110 one more time? Maybe next week. But despite the fact these are lagging, or they're, seem to be just kind of sputtering sideways, I don't want. I want to stay on top of them no matter what. I think you'll get these smaller patterns as triggers. Let's go to a couple more. What do you guys have? BTC QQQ. I'm going to stay away from that, Adam. Maybe tomorrow. I don't. Again, I want to keep everything independent. Let's just line it up, each chart individually. What do you see? I mean, you could have your favorite crypto, doesn't matter, but where are the patterns? And if no patterns, throw it out. No confirmation, wait. Yeah, James, I'll get to Tesla. What's up, Mitch? Mitch Ray's in the house. What's going on? Welcome, my friend. How you been? Yeah, synthetics, absolutely. Sushi swap, that's a good one there. Flip-flop saying sushi, and that's just like synthetics. Take a look at sushi. Big deep crab, bat pattern. And there's a little crab on the retest now where you have to go to the hop. That's a nice spot for this because reaction's over. 166 and go target the hop level 230 on this move. We talked about oil and natural gas guys earlier. I'm going to rip through crypto, finish up on crypto, because I think crypto, there's a ton of opportunity in crypto. There really is. And again, this is a spot where you want to focus on these things just languishing at the lows of the year. Some of them have already triggered. Most of them have patterns. They just haven't done anything yet. It's, again, you're in a delayed reaction type of environment where even if it takes time, you want to be scraping these lows, looking for signs of life. That's it. Some of them are popping. Others need time, but I just don't get complacent down here. This is something that on the daily, YFI, was it? Yeah, YFI or YFII? It was YFI. No. No, I'm sorry. It was Numer. It was this XMR. Take a look. Type 2, Monero. Sorry. I'll get to Numer. It's the other one. XMR, Monero. I mentioned this before. It's a type 2 butterfly. And it's ideal in terms of structurally 1-2. Doesn't have the ideal conformation on the type 2, but even on a reaction, keep an eye above 175. That could get it going. The target 2 is at 260. The one that's similar to that, this is this NMR, Numer. There it is, the 12 bucks. Yeah, it's a shark pattern. All right, a dog crypto for sure, but hop levels at 1230, and here's the appropriate confirmation around 14, 15 bucks. And it's done at type 2, even though that seems like a fake candle. I would look at that as a crazy type 1. And again, can you make progress here? Plenty of others that are better crypto, but in the relative position of where you are, it's there. It's was it Neo? Yeah, Neo. So here's Neo. Now look, small pattern. Neo at the 113. It's 736. Okay. Just triggered HSI. Take a look at this, folks. And this is early. There's HSI. It generates on the close of the bar and then checks back. So take a look. We got 1, 2. Come back, you retest it, and that's it. Then you have 1, 2 candles, 2 bullish closes, and it goes. So that's still early stages. That's Neo, and it's a type 1 on the shark. Go up to about 1035. This could screw around for a couple of weeks before it does the move, but it's already registered and done. Give you the confirmation. Look for thrust reaction, something like that. We did synthetics. Yeah, check it out earlier. Check out about 5-10 minutes ago on synthetics. LRC. Yes, LRC. Look what LRC did. Check out the type 2. It was a small bat, but there's a bigger weekly pattern. Remember, this was back to back. Where is it? Maybe this was a daily. I know this had a big one. Big Gartley. Structurally, looks ugly. I mean, that's the doesn't help us immensely in terms of having your XA level at $1 and you're down here at 33 cents. But what I'm more interested in from a ballpark perspective are these. my HSI triggers, roughly 30 cents. We talked about that. 26 cents was what we were honing in on. Where'd you go? I know LRC was, yeah, here it was. LRC was this bat pattern. That's right. Sorry about the data feed. On Coinbase. And there was the big bat, 26 cents. And then the small bat that popped off. But all right, right back, 43 cents down to 33 cents. But now what? More time. Maybe come all the way back to your HSI. But hey, small pop off. I still say that's first sign. Again, this is where you got plenty of time. There's other ones. There's definitely other ones. Here's Link. Check out the patterns on Link. Couple of bearish patterns. So what would you do with that? Don't look for too much in that off of those bearish patterns. Link is really, is there a more depressing, disappointing crypto than Link, which was supposed to be really top notch? On the weekly time frame, again, you're sideways. Nothing really there for Link. The example of a great crypto, or at least I think a lot well-respected crypto, it's just nothing there. Nothing there. Mitch is saying OMG is similar to synthetics. Yeah, OMG. Boy, ever since that airdrop, dead. But here's, check this out. Yep. Another big pattern, small pattern thing. Big pattern, the shark software is kicking that out at about 180. And then a smaller crab pattern. So you're roughly around 150, but you do have your first confirmation that comes in that we'd want to look at somewhere around there, above where we are. I would say 180 is your bigger number, but could take time. Could just go sideways. Look, here's the downtrend on that. Better now that you're to the right of that trend, but I'd like to see a pattern. 4-hour time frame. Not much there. In due time, that could pop off maybe a little later. Where's HSI? Yeah, coming off overbought readings. Maybe it needs more time. Several of those are going sideways. The last one I'm going to do is VeChain. And this is another monster weekly pattern. I'll go to the dailies. There you go. Beautiful. Look, VeChain, massive bullish bat pattern. All of that with confirmation around 2 cents. You're 260. Maybe you come back down one more time there. But that's a great example of being a delayed response. There's the downtrend, though. Need more time. Need more time with that. What's the daily look like? Because you've got the 2 bearish patterns. And the shark right here around 2.5. It's not in a spot where I'd love to have a daily bullish pattern. At least give you something to trigger off of. But again, with a shark, what will we expect? Just something like that for now. So be it. Before I jump out, I mean, of course, take a quick peek again at the progress of total crypto. And total crypto market cap, on the daily, look at that. It printed, the software did print this crab pattern. Take that for what it's worth. I would say at least a pause for a target 1 reaction off of that 1618. All it is that the pattern is telling you this 1618 reaction, that rally that started really mid-October is almost done or going to go through some consolidation to target one now, and then maybe come back after the fact. Could be something to come back to by Thursday. Don't be surprised. Didn't we say that Binance Coin was in that situation? A couple of the other ones in a similar situation, so maybe that's where we're at. Okay, XRP, that hasn't changed, folks. XRP is the weekly bat pattern zone, and I think 37.4 cents on XRP could come back and retest. Either that or your next oversold signal and you have nothing. So XRP was just a 1 week, 2 week thrust and consolidate for a while. Not much else. Someone's asking, I don't know what's that Raven coin. You're saying a bat pattern on RVN. Okay, here's Raven coin. I have a deep crab on a weekly. On the weekly for Raven coin. Interesting. I don't think I've heard of this before, but at least you've got something like that. So maybe this is one to get on the radar for the next oversold reading. Getting a lot of that. Getting a lot of give me the next oversold. Go down and trigger the next one. So if you're waiting for the next one, you're not there yet. But a good one. I like the deep crab down here on the daily chart. We'll circle back in that. Some of those others we did link already, and yeah, Cardano is just not much. Some of the ones that I mentioned, like Anchor Coin, are interesting down at that level, and I'll leave it with this one, Ape Coin. Okay, total, who knows? It's the same as Doge, what have you, but you have a shark, you have a prior bat pattern somewhere just under $4. You have the shark pattern that at least this thing is trying to stabilize. This was an interesting one that caught my eye recently. Doing nothing with it yet, but another one that could try to pop off like that. Rareable and Chili's definitely were similar category, I feel. So long session today, guys. And before tomorrow, yes, we do have the midterm election. Do the results affect the future market trend? No, because we need signals. We're really relying on signals here. That's what I said with everything when I started today. We need to rely on the signals, turn off the noise. And where are we with the signals? Not quite there yet. I mean, I would want to see even a couple of constructive bullish days first on the major markets before I would look for a trend change. In the same way where we flashed a lot of bearish patterns on crude oil and such, they're not there yet. Just got to be patient. I know it can be frustrating. Here, I'm going to wrap up. Someone wanted Tesla, and this really underscores why I think patience is so critical. Tesla is the type 2. And we're now checking back, retesting. Let me go to the other platform. Okay. Tesla checked back. It's 2 of 2 now. Retesting the zone. It's down right here. There's HSI on the daily. Just registered and overbought where it should be oversold. And again, we always look for that. Say, okay, you're in a zone, more time. Look what it's hitting now. Today's hitting oversold, letting out a lot of air. I'm not there yet, but you are oversold. This is what I mean by going off your signals, waiting for your signals. And we could say, oh yeah, the market's oversold, sure. But by what measure? And this is where, all right, now you're hitting it. Now Tesla down there hitting oversold readings and on amplified RSI, still down. And this has got a bat pattern where, we could go to 180 before we trigger. We've mentioned this. Again, a weekly time frame as well has probably been better structurally. Most of you know that. We've been doing this on Tesla for a while. So now we're here. You need to see something pop up, confirmation, bullish candle, bullish 2 weeks before it turns. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow because I want to get into what's the deal, how we're going to strategize for end of the year. Personally, I think it's going to be more on things like natural gas and maybe some individual short plays. But I do want to think about that. I mean, look at UNG's really popping off right now. But that's got a ways to go. 25, 26. Let's get to that tomorrow. All right, folks, great one. Hey, Mitch Ray, thanks for showing up today. Let's keep mind open. Let's look for other opportunities. It's going to have to be a really special stock situation. The broader market is going to flounder, I think, and continue, especially when we see the big cap techs needing weeks before they would really trigger. They're there at the levels, but there's no confirmation. Let's focus on the stuff that has it. Thanks, everybody. Come on back tomorrow, 12 noon. Until then, as always, go get them. See you tomorrow.